So I'm putting together this 29-inch beach cruiser, and it's coming out pretty good, but I ran into the problem with this tube being overly massive where the gas tank wouldn't hook on with the standard bracketry. So I wanted to use as much of the original stuff as possible and make it look as good as I could. So what I went ahead and did, as you can see here, is I took the original mount and drilled a hole in it, and drilled a hole into the body of the bicycle, and then I used 2 sheet metal screws, and I only used 2 of them so they could have a little bit of a, front and back motion like that. The top one I left a little looser and Loctited, so it's not coming out, but it's a little forgiving, with my measurements, and the bottom one's really in there, so it's not moving at all. So anyway, that's one way to hook your gas tank to your beach cruiser. Worked out pretty good, and I'll show you what it looks like with it on there. Alright, and with the tank on and installed, this is how she looks. So I decided not to cut the studs off on mine because it might move to a different bicycle at some point, who knows, but it's on there, it's attached really good, it's good and sturdy. I got the spacing just right, so it's as far forward as it possibly be, so it looks good. I think they should always be as far forward as possible for aesthetic purposes, but pretty much there's the gas tank all installed with the mounts flipped over and the sheet metal screws through them and through the body, so you want to make sure you measure that out well. And I used Loctite on those so they'll never come loose because these metal bodies are pretty thin, so sheet metal screws might be questionable, so they seem to be good and held in and do a good job. But pretty much there you have it, and there's the finished bike completed. So there you go. Worked pretty good. Pretty good idea on how to mount your gas tank to a bigger tube without making it look ugly with some bracketry that goes down and around and just looks hideous. So there you go.